Cripsilog. Cripsilog. Cripsilog.
Hello,
Hi!
welcome everyone.
Welcome to
Silog, where we talk about
Creepy Stuff.
murder.
And
One
some of
serial
our
killers.
friends. Creepy friends. Hey Gideon.
Hi Glenn, kamusta?
I'm good. Ang plastic. Ikaw.
Kainis. Okay lang.
Ano yung natupag mo?
Ano, nagbakasyon. Wow!
Ikaw na.
Kamusta? Sarap. Nag-Siargao ako last week.
Kaya pala tan na tan ka.
Oo. Sunburnt nga. Sakit niya ang balikat. Nagbabalat yung ilong ko. Ganda doon.
Buti ka pa.
Kamusta dito sa city?
Wow. Sakto lang. Spreading love and happiness.
Ay, wow! So, mabait naman. Doing the ano ba yan?
Yung doing yung mantra ko, mercy and compassion, bitch.
So, for today, we will talk about BTK killer, Dennis Rader. Wow. BTK stands for Bind, Torture, and Kill. MO niya.
So pang number 5 na siya no sa top 10 list of
5 na?
kasi
Okay. Hindi, nakailan na ba tayo?
Naka 5 na.
Okay. Nagbibilang.
So 5 plus 5.
Wow, 10? Ang galing ko, shit.
Math is not our strong suit, pero yes.
Same as this, hindi naman tayo expert. Dito.
Pang 5. May disclaimer ba tayo ulit? Warnings.
Oo, na we are not glorifying them. We're just interested.
We're not promoting yung
murder, torture,
ginawa
killing.
nila. Anong
That's bad.
Anong year ba si BTK sumalakay?
Napaka well prepared.
Because
Nakakainis.
I love your research already.
70s to 80s.
So medyo recent pa nga. May chance na
1990.
buhay pa yung ibang families. Na? Pwede?
Buhay pa.
So, we'll try to be a little more sensitive sa pagtalakay. Sa pagtalakay.
May talakayan.
Top 5 pa rin sa ating
Wait, naka 5 na pa.
halfway
sino ba?
through the season.
Wow.
Ayan, mag-countdown tayo. At
Wow.
kompleto na natin ang nicknames nila. Okay, so first one,
Jeffrey Dahmer, the Milwaukee Cannibal.
si Kuya Jepoy. Yes.
Next is
John Wayne Gacy, the
Killer Clown.
killer clown. Si Kuya John Wayne.
Next si Andre
Chikatilo.
Oo.
The Butcher of Rostov.
Yeah, thank you kay Jay Kulista kasi sinabi
Shout out. Thank you.
May TFC subscriber tayo from San Diego, California.
Yes.
Ayan, kasi sabi niya, si Butcher ba to? Sabi ko, sinong Butcher? Kasi nga, hindi yun yung sinabi natin. Ano sabi natin?
The Russian something.
Cannibal. Basta ganito sabi niya, si Red Butcher ba to something? Tapos tinignan ko, oo nga. Thank you, Jay. Jay Kulista.
Si
That kid from SD.
Kuya Andy.
Andy.
So, after Andre Chikatilo is Ed Gein. Si Kuya Ed. Manong Ed.
Pero hindi pa natin napopost to as of this recording.
Pagka, by the time na i-post natin to, na-post na natin yung dalawa.
Okay. Sige. Ang kulit. All this time shit is screwing my head. Ayan, oo nga. Tsaka
Ano ba yung nickname ni Ed Gein?
Ed Gein, the psycho.
Oh, shit. Akala ko kompleto na
Oo
natin
nga.
yung nicknames.
Wait lang.
Wala
Butcher
siya.
of Plainfield.
Ayun, the Butcher. Butcher din. The Butcher of
Plainfield.
Plainfield.
Ghoul.
Plainfield Ghoul, yes. Tama pala. Kasi nangahalukay siya ng bangkay. And,
Si Tsutomu Miyazaki, the otaku murderer.
yes, the otaku murderer. Si Kuyang Horny.
Oo.
So, may title ba? So, right now, we're on number 5. It's The BTK.
The BTK killer.
Killer.
Na siya yung nagbigay sa sarili niya.
BTK. So yun na pala ang title niya, BTK. Wala na siyang so that's
Kasi
it
siya yung
in
nagsuggest ng mga names ng ano bang gusto niya itawag niya sa akin.
Oh.
Kasi very corresponding si BTK killer.
Pussy.
Ayan. Kwento siya sa mga pulis.
Okay, sige.
Start na ba natin? Start na po ba ng masa? Start
Ito na totoong start.
Game na?
Game.
Okay, so for today, the episode today, we will be discussing Dennis Rader, the BTK killer. Siyempre, meron tayong pa-quote muna from BTK killer himself.
I love it.
I probably would have hung the little girl. Like I said, I'm pretty mean, or could be. But on the other hand, I'm very, I'm a nice guy. Unquote. Kakainis. Parang movie talaga. Yeah. Mahilig siya sa ganong theatrics.
I'll reserve my reactions towards the end of the show. Sabi.
So Dennis Rader could not reach sexual satisfaction without binding, torturing, and killing other human beings. Wow, how's that? So, yun yung kink niya.
So wait. Sa BTK, in terms of binding sexual release, hanggang sang letter ka umabot? Binding.
Hoy! Grabe. Siyempre, masama yung torturing and killing.
So, hanggang binding nga lang. Hanggang bilang.
Binding, parang exciting. Okay, so, he just didn't see any other life should stop his perfect moment. Dennis L. Rader was born in 1945 in the city of Wichita in the state of Kansas, Midwest, U.S. He was an average pupil, a regular Boy Scout, and an active church member.
Oh.
Active church member.
Catholic church?
Check natin. Napaka well-researched.
Yaman na.
Hindi, nandito siya eh. Nandito yung church niya. Sasabihin natin later on. Wow, pa-suspense. Asa na tayo?
Active churchgoer.
His was an unremarkable childhood, though he later claims that he was dropped on his head as a kid. So, ito na yun.
Remember golden rule?
Head trauma.
Torture against violence against animals.
Tsaka bedwetting.
Yeah.
Yung natin. Mga clues. Na, shit, magiging killer to paglaki.
Head trauma.
Brain trauma is common cited in serial killers such as Fred West and John Gacy. John Wayne, na-mention.
Yung hinataw siya sa face ng
tatay niya. But Rader shows such an awareness of the serial killer mythology that any events or emotions that have no corroboration or source apart from the Rader should be considered with care. He says that it's at school that he first developed unnatural urges. Sa school talaga? Tinuturo ba yan sa school? These fantasies are almost like a picture show, which he wants to direct and produce, no matter what the cost. He begins to strangle local cats and dogs. So ito na nag-try out na siya.
Cruelty against animals.
Subukan na niya sa animals muna before moving on to humans.
Wait, and ilan taon na siya dyan? School age na siya.
So, elementary, I suppose. But Dennis is adept at separating his inner demons from his public persona. May ganun. Parang ikaw. He joins the Air Force for 4 years and serves abroad during the late 60s. On his return home to civilian life, he drifts through a series of average jobs. So, do you think may nangyari sa kanya nung nag-Air Force siya? Or hindi naman niya sinabi dun kasi?
Well, I think kasi when you join the army, the military, you're exposed to different kinds of
violence.
Trauma, violence. So,
na in a way, it will affect. Di ba kaya nga may PTSD sila?
Yes. So, could be. Sumali ba siya sa war or... Hindi.
Hindi natin sure.
Cut ko na.
He meets Paula Dietz, a gentle softly spoken woman who he wins over with his gentle manly ways. So, ano siya? Yung on the outside, ano siya? Decent.
Gentleman.
Pero, ano yun? Parang gentleman on the streets. Ganon.
An animal in the sheets.
Yun. He always opens the door for her and helps her with her coat. Ano
Wow,
siya?
sweet.
Gentleman. In 1971, they marry. He starts night school, but it will take him 6 years to graduate with a degree in administration of justice. It gives him an insight into being a police officer, his desired profession. Gusto niya maging police Parang although hindi pa natin napapag-usapan, si Ed Kemper, di ba? Gusto niya rin kasi maging police.
Ay, oo.
Oo. Kaya lang, masyado siya matangkad.
Yun yung disqualified siya.
Oo, kaya siya hindi
Super
pwede.
laki niya. No?
1974 is a big year for Dennis. He makes his fantasies a reality and starts the year by killing 4 people with from the same family. Then, Paula announces that they will be starting their own family. With Paula expecting, Dennis starts work at a firm that installs burglar alarms. So imagine, yun yung trabaho niya, nag-i-install siya ng alarms.
So, may i-react din ako dyan pero later na lang pagbuo na yung kwento.
Sige. Kailangan maalala mo yan.
Yan.
Sige, burglar alarms. Nag-install siya ng burglar alarms. Perversely, his job teaches him further how to enter another's home without detection. Wow, this will come in handy.
Yes.
Mga gagawin niya. The following year, his first child, a son, is born, and 4 years after that, he has a daughter. In 1989, he loses his job. He'd always thought it inferior work, and eventually he becomes a city compliance officer tasked with everything from animal to car control. It's the closest he'll come to being a policeman. He soon gains a reputation for a zealous enforcement of even the pettiest regulations. So, by the book si Kuya. Parang
nagpapakilala siya. Parang by the book.
Oo.
Inaw. Inaw.
Yun ba talaga yung...
Inaw about sa rules.
Okay, yeah. Ganun siya. Na very interesting choice of word. He harasses a neighbor over the height of her grass, but complains to his superiors from both staff and citizens over his inappropriate behavior, and abuses are largely ignored, and he's later promoted to supervisor. Wow, nagbunga yung pagiging niya. Anong tawag? Di ba may tawag tayo sa ganito?
Pabida.
Bida-bida. While some find Dennis to be confrontational and arrogant, others consider him accessible and pleasant, explaining his positions of both Boy Scout leader and congregation leader of his local church. Unknown to those who think him a charming character and far beyond the worst suspicions of those who know him to be a bureaucratic bully, Dennis keeps a secret box, which he called the Mother Load.
Box. Wait, Prison Break.
Ano yun?
May episode, di ba? Na The Mother Load.
Ay talaga? Ano nangyari nun? Anong season to?
Hindi ko maalala.
Pero nung...
Load as in L-O-D-E?
Diba? Hindi. L-O-A-D.
Mali.
L-O-E-D?
So, mali.
Ano yun?
L-O-D-E yung iniisip.
A look inside reveals the true nature of Dennis. Sa Mother Load.
Wait. So, meron siyang box na pinaglalagyan niya ng stuff?
Yes.
Secret stuff? Okay.
Ng kanyang, there are cutout pictures of child swimsuit models with sexual fantasies written on the back of them.
Ew.
May pagkapido din pala tong si Kuya. No? Amongst them are various self-shot photographs of him wearing pantyhose and bra in bondage positions.
Selfie.
Oo, yung selfie nung 1970s. If you will look sa Google kung ano itsura niya.
Game.
Meron siyang, yung mask nung parang blank face. Yung may movie na ganun, di ba? Outsider ba yan? Basta may mask siya na suot, tapos blank face lang ng babae. Tapos naka-pantyhose siya. Stockings and all. Tapos naka-beaten siya.
Ito?
Yan.
Fuck.
So, if you would describe, yan.
Okay. So, let me just describe this a little bit. Alam ko,
or
di
if you
naman
i-google nyo na lang din, di ba?
Pero, if you don't want to see something disturbing today.
So, yan, si Dennis Rader.
Nakasuot siya. He has blonde hair. Normal, yung average built na guy. May gag siya, parang may tape over his mouth. Tapos nakatali siya, yung hands are bound behind his back. Nakasuot siya ng parang nightie.
Oo. Pambabae, di
Oh,
ba?
pambabae. And stockings. So, yung...
Ayun. So, and
At nakabitin siya sa puno.
Oo. Pero upright naman, no? Hindi naman upside down.
Paano niya ginawa to?
Siya lang mag-isa, di ba? Tapos may picture pa.
Picture pa. And remember, so 1970s to, hindi pa uso mga digital cameras.
Mahirap mag-selfie.
Ipapadevelop mo to.
Oo nga. Makikita yun ng nagde-develop.
Diba? Unless meron siyang sariling dark room.
And there are also drawings and photographs recording the last moments of his murder victims. Meron din siya mga drawing ng mga bound na babae and gagged din. So, mag-google mo din. Andyan din siya.
Oh.
Ayan. Pero parang illustrations ng mga fantasies niya.
From an artist's point of view, hindi maganda yun.
So, nasa bed, di ba? Tapos, nakatuwad? Or not? Nakadapa lang.
Nakadapa.
Tapos, bound hands behind. Tapos, gag din. May tali sa bibig.
So, fetish nga talaga to. Itong ganito.
Well, pareho kami. Gano'n.
What?
Ano yan? Bakit? Maganda lang. I mean, paano kayo explain to?
On the spot ka ba?
On the spot ako, shit. Pero yun, nakakanood din naman ako ng mga...
Hentai?
Hindi. Live, ayan.
Mga...
I mean, pinanood ko siya.
Pero staged yun, yung pinanood mo. Hindi naman snuff film.
Sasabihin ko pa yung title. Wag na lang. Pero yun, interested din ako sa binding. Ang ganda kasi, ito pa, parang, di ba?
Yeah, ang ganda.
Okay, so...
Kaya pala, last punta mo dito, may parang rope marks.
May mga rope. Galing pala sa session.
Now I get it.
So, let's start now with his murders.
Okay. So, just to paint the whole picture, yung nung na-discover yung box that is after mahuli na siya. Okay. So, yung sinabi mo kanina is just this whole timeline ng kanyang buhay. Nung na-discover yung box, doon lumabas lahat ng murders.
Yung mga, secrets.
Gusto ko yung storytelling today. Okay. May pa-flashback.
So, Rader's torture fantasies are fueled by the final moments of his victims' lives, and it is these last seconds that excite him far more than the actual moment of death itself. So, ano natin siya maka-classify as?
Product.
Or process. Kasi wala naman siyang pakialam sa... ang gusto niya lang yung actual na namamatay ka and it gives him...
yung pleasure. Pero yung last few seconds lang.
Oo.
Okay.
Kinky. Although, di ba, pwede naman yun gawin safely. Kasi may nakita ako sa Twitter ng how to choke properly. Di ba nakita yun? Like, may illustration on where to place your thumb para you can choke your partner without actually killing them. Wow, interesting.
So, pwedeng dun nag-start kasi, di ba? Parang... yung mga ganyang extreme bondage, sadomasochism, sa kanya nga lang nag-elevate siya from there.
Saka, na-elevate na into killing din. And wala kasing consent. Kasi okay. Pinipilit talaga yan. Na okay lang. Raider plans his attacks meticulously, allowing him to kill during the daytime without the cover of night. Considers each murder a project, and he has many projects under surveillance at one time. Why some live and some die is arbitrary. He trolls, that's his word for checking out women. Trolls, pero ngayon iba na yung meaning ng troll, no? Through many, stalks a few, and then selects some. So, May ano siya,
May,
ang tawag doon,
may
elimination
elimination
round.
process din.
Oo. Pasok ka sa final cut, mga ganun.
Pero what this tells us about him is very methodical siya.
Oo.
Hindi siya yung basta-basta strike.
Papatay na lang.
Yeah, so meron siyang pool to select from, and then after ng first round,
Oo,
may
yeah.
pipiliin siya, and eventually dun sa mga
Sa final
pinili
cut
niya.
niya, pipili na siya ng isa.
Okay.
He also researches his targets at the local library, referencing anything about them and visiting their workplaces. So ano to? Stalking to dati. Although ngayon, Facebook na lang tayo, Twitter. Very normal siya in a sense kasi nga
Ngayon, normalized na.
yung
Ngayon,
stalking.
Kapag may gusto ka talagang malaman na information.
Di ba nga, first name lang, search mo na sa Facebook.
Saka yung place of work.
Tsaka, Starbucks, gano'n. So, ito pala siya. Ayan. Most of his victims are women strangled in their own homes. The exception is that the first kill attributed to the BTK killer. On a cold winter morning on a quiet suburban street in January 1974, BTK begins.
Oh, I like it.
He has with him his hit kit. Ito yung tawag niya, hit kit. Di ba may mga tawag pa talaga.
Pero sa girls, may kikay kit.
Sa kanya, hit kit.
Murder
A
kit.
briefcase packed with lengths of cords, hoods, plastic bags, tape, and wire cutters. Yun yung kit niya. He uses the latter to sever the phone lines. So, bago siya pumasok sa bahay, cut muna niya yung phone lines.
Of course, para hindi makatawag sa 911.
Yep. He waits by the back door and sometime after 7 a.m. it opened to let the dog out. Wait, he waits by the back door and sometime after 7 a.m. it opened to let the dog out. Hindi, nagulat lang ako sa sobrang, kasi nga, very patient din siya na killer. Kasi nga, hinahanap niya yung perfect time.
Yeah.
But before the dog can exit, Raider enters. Having done surveillance on the property, kasi nga, di ba, ganun siya, methodical.
Alam ko na yung church na.
Ano?
Methodist. joke lang.
He expects to find a mother and her daughter. Kasi nga, na-surveillance na niya to eh. He nearly loses control of the situation when he finds out that the father and son were there as well.
Oh.
So shit, this is complicated.
Bummer.
So akala ko this is going to be an easy job. Considering that this is his first time din.
Yeah.
Fuck, anong gagawin ko?
May feel agad.
Andito yung tatay, andito yung anak. 4 sila dito. May aso pa. But Raider pulls out a gun. First, he binds the wrists and ankles of Joseph Otero, the tatay, 38, a fellow former Air Force flight engineer. Raider does the same to the wife, who he also gags. He strangles the father first, and then the mother. He takes Joseph Jr. to his bedroom, binding his wrists. He covers the boy's head in a hood. He then sits and watches as the boy slowly suffocates. So, doon niya gamit niya rin yung plastic, di ba, pang suffocate.
Okay.
He moves on to the real target of the family, the daughter of the Hispanic family, Josephine. He takes the 11-year-old down to the basement and hangs her from a pipe in the basement.
Shit.
So, yan, tinali na niya. Katulad ng picture niya ginawa niya. He hasn't sexually assaulted any of his victims, but once Josephine is dead, he masturbates and ejaculates. Afterwards, he methodically goes through each room he's killed in and cleans away any evidence. Before leaving, he steals his first memento, the father's watch. That afternoon, the eldest child, Charlie Otero, comes home from school and finds his loved ones lifeless.
Holy shit. I mean, oh my God.
Yep. Sinabi din ni BTK na I'm not sure kung totoo to, pero parang may sinabi siya na bago padalin, nung dinadala na si Josephine sa basement, sinigaw niya ng I love you, mommy. Kasi nga,
Wala nabanggit na may parents issues siya with
wala
parents,
naman.
di ba? Wala siyang mom or dad issues. Sige, habang hinahanap mo,
Oo.
ang nakikita ko kasing ginawa niya, although di ba hindi niya sila ni-rape or sexually abuse, he just staged the scene nung fantasies niya kasi
Oo.
masyado siyang visual na tao. That's why he has his drawings.
Saka yung selfie niya.
Mhm. At nung nakita niya na, nung nagawa niya na yung
Kay
kay
Josephine.
Josephine, nagpaputok na si Kuya.
Oo. Yeah. And yun nga, yung mommy I love you nung ini-strangle yung nanay niya on her mother. While she watched Raider strangle her mother to death, the little girl was dragged down and sa basement na siya. And then, her last words were to ask what would become of her. Her killer, stoic and calm, told her, well, honey, you're going to be in heaven tonight with the rest of your family.
Gago.
Ayoko pa naman nun. Yung parang, sa mga movies, yung biglang may mga line na, I don't wanna die. Tapos biglang, mamamatay sila. Parang nalulungkot ako. Wala lang. Yung parang sasabihin sa'yo na you're about to die. Kailangan sabihin mo sa akin na, it's going to be alright.
Nalulungkot ka kasi it's a waste of time yung conversation na yun.
Hindi
na
naman.
namatay na sana siya agad.
Hindi naman. Okay, so yun. Patay na. Ito na yung first victims. Yeah.
Four people.
Yung buong Otero except for Charlie. So yung 4 Otero family members.
Wow. Imagine mo yung pakiramdam niya nung nakita niya yung family niya pag uwi niya ganun and seeing yung kapatid mo
Yung
na
scene
si
na-
Josephine.
Yeah, na parents mo strangled, pati yung bata din suffocated, yung little brother mo, and then your sister na nakahang sa pipe.
Yung aso,
Yeah, hindi naman na ligtas si aso.
kasi John Wick pala si
Oo
Charlie.
nga, ayaw niyang Yeah. The police investigate and find that right up the point of death, none of the Otero family resisted as there's no defensive marks. It's as if the killer had persuaded them that murder wasn't his intention. How Raider might have persuaded his victims is answered by a survivor of his next attack. 4 months after the Otero massacre, Raider enters the house of brother and sister Kevin and Catherine Bright. When they return home, at around 1 p.m., they find the man wearing a ski mask. Mahilig sa mask si Kuya. No?
Yeah.
And pointing a gun at them. He says that he's a fugitive looking for a car and that he won't harm them if they provide him with food and money. This is the story he used so effectively on the Otero family. So kaya walang defensive mark. So kasi nga, let's cooperate. Hindi naman niya tayo papatayin.
Yeah.
Then, the 21-year-old sister is tied up first and then Kevin is tied and gagged in another room. So, hiniwalay niya yung magkapatid. He shoots Kevin twice in the head. He goes back to Catherine, strangles nabubulol, strangles her to excite himself. Yun talaga yung purpose niya.
Yeah.
But he struggles so much that he stabs her 11 times in the stomach to stop her. Fuck, 11 times. The amount of blood surprises him. It takes her 5 hours to bleed out. Somehow, Kevin survives.
Yung binaril niya?
Oo. Like, binaril niya once and then, so nakita niya na nakasurvive si Kevin. Nakita niya yung ginagawa sa kapatid niya. So, syempre, tinulungan niya. So, nagulat si Raider, si Dennis, nabuhay pa. Binaril niya ulit.
Kaya 2 shots.
And then, dun na nakasurvive pa rin si Kuya. So strong si Kuya. Na lumabas na siya to ask for help.
And
Kaya alam pagbalik niya.
siya yung survivor.
Oo. Pagbalik niya, patay na yung sister niya, si Catherine. In October, Raider writes his first BTK letter for the Wichita Eagle Beacon newspaper. He places it in a book in a library and rings a reporter with its name and location. Nung pinagtaguan niya nung letter niya. Parang isang engineering book yata yun. Sa library.
Sa
Doon
library.
niya tinago. The letter seeks to both claim responsibility and acknowledge the evil of the murders, whilst at the same time seeking to blame them on a monster in the murderer's mind. The letter ends, yours truly guiltily, and is signed off merong quote. The code word for me will be ... Bind them, torture them, kill them. BTK. Unquote. Yun yung niya. Letter niya. Describing the murders. Ganun.
Quick question. Nauna ba si BTK kay Zodiac or si Zodiac muna?
Parang si Zodiac. Kailan ba si Zodiac? Parang nauna si Zodiac.
I think so too. Kasi parang ganun yung ginagawa niya. Remember with Zodiac, kinakausap din niya yung mga
police, di ba?
mga
Tapos
letters
meron
siya.
code din siya.
And he was very notorious. Parang sobrang naging famous siya. He could be looking for something like that. Si BTK. That's why he came up with his own
brand, di ba?
Yung name niya, yung ganun. Nagpapakilala talaga siya.
In a way, parang gusto niya rin kasing sumikat na serial killer. You can say that. Kasi nga, siguro to follow mga other serial killers. This communication will be the first of many, and it's this need for public recognition and respect from his pursuers, the police, that will eventually lead to his arrest, trial, and imprisonment. By his third kill, Raider has developed a signature attacking during the day, cutting telephone lines, and then executing his murderous MO, according to his acronym. On 17th of March 1977, he tries to put into operation Project Green. Ano yun? But his intended targets away. Ready to kill but frustrated, he wanders the streets and comes across a child returning home. He first shows a photo of his own wife to the child, asking if he knew who she was, as if he was a private detective seeking information. So ito, kausap niya yung bata. The boy shakes his head and continues home. Raider watches where the boy goes, follows, knocks on the door, and persuades the boy to allow him in. He enters the home of Shirley Vian, a mother of 3 in her mid-20s. Once in, he drops any pretense and pulls out a pistol. His story this time is that he has a sexual dysfunction and that tying her up is the only way he can achieve gratification. Hindi ba in a way nakakalungkot din yun na meron kang ganun?
Parang
kasi nga,
sakit talaga siya.
Na parang ang hirap naman din siguro na hindi kasi kung ganun lang yung that's the only way for you.
Yeah. Yun lang yung sexual release
mo.
Just like with Andre Chikatilo. God, ang hirap naman.
Shirley believes that if she complies, she will live. She helps him confine her children, aged 4, 6, and 8, in the bathroom with the toys and a blanket. Tinago ni ate, ni Shirley,
to protect them, I guess.
Tsaka hindi rin naman target ni Dennis yung mga bata. It's partly sheer terror that causes her then to repeatedly vomit. Raider gives her a glass of water and tries to calm her. He then binds her wrists and ankles. She expects rape. Instead, he strangles her. The children can see what is happening through a gap in the door. Oh man, that's so sad. Imagine the trauma the kids will have. Seeing your mom
ang daya niya,
being strangled to death.
Tinulungan na nga siya ni ate. Diba?
Oo. Parang ready na ako for rape. But then, hindi pala. You're going to kill me. I mean, cooperative na nga ako. You can do whatever you want. Pero Raider intends to do the same to them with the telephone rings. What? With the kids?
Yeah.
Raider intends to do the same to them with telephone rings. He has not had the time to do his usual preparations. He quickly exits.
Hindi niya naputol yung telephone line.
Oo. Kaya. Ito rin yung time na bumalik yung tatay. So nakita niya na patay na yung asawa. And safe yung mga anak niya. Ang lungkot niya kasi initially, ang tingin, kasi nga hindi alam ng mga police na serial killer to. Ang initial target nila is the husband.
Siya pa napagbintangan.
Suspect, yeah. Usually naman din kasi, di ba, pag gantong mga killings,
The first suspect is the husband.
or
Yes.
the wife, di ba? Or anybody close to you na gagawa ng crime. On 8th of December 1977, Raider breaks form by 1, breaking a window to enter, and 2, by attacking during the night. So, nag-iba na siya ng MO. This time, his target is 25-year-old Nancy Fox, who he's had under surveillance for months. He has focused in on her over the last few weeks, discovering her name and following the jewelry store worker to her workplace. He uses the same sexual story he'd used on Shirley. Raider shares a cigarette with Nancy. Meron pang ganap na ganap. She prepares herself to be restrained
raped.
and raped. Kasi nga, yun. Raider handcuffs her and lies her face down on her bed. He then strangles... hirap na hirap sa strangle. Ano ba? He then strangles her with a nylon stocking. After she's dead, he masturbates and ejaculates. His memento from the evening is her driving license. Later, he calls the police from a phone box to tell them what he's done, with no interruptions or mistake. Nancy is his perfect hit. Easy.
You know what? So far, dun sa last 3 niya, I think ang ginagawa niya, nagpapaawa siya.
Oo.
Like, yung una, he's asking for food.
Oo.
Kaya siya pinapasok. The other one, nagkwento siya ng sexual problems niya. Nagpaawa siya dun sa yung mother of 3. Tapos, same with kay ate Nancy.
Nancy Fox.
So initially yung girls parang
Okay.
sige,
tulungan kita.
baka totoo nga naman na pagkatapos ng release mo uwi ka na. Pero naka-mask ba siya nung
Hindi.
ganun? So I guess if nakita na nila yung face
There's no
niya,
way na
there's no way
makakaligtas
let
ka.
you go.
Kasi nga, you know his face.
You can identify him sa lineup later on. Kaya nga sabi nila pag hold upin ka daw.
Kung naka-mask,
Or
medyo
kahit hindi naka-mask actually, huwag kang titingin sa kanya. Iabot mo na lahat ng pwede mong ibigay. Tapos may tip pa nga kapag hinihingi yung wallet mo, balak mo naman ibigay para hindi ka saktan. Itapon mo a few feet away from
malayo para
yun ang kukunin niya yung wallet tapos takbo ka na.
To run, yeah.
Ganun. And don't look them in the face kasi
ang alam ko, yun, pag may maskara, okay, I'm safe. Pag wala, I'm gonna die. Napaka-morbid. Raider consciously echoes the Zodiac Killer's letters to the media over his next communication. So, tama ka. So, in a way,
pareho kami mag-isip.
aspiration niya. Communications, and specifically, compares himself to others such as Jack the Ripper and Son of Sam, and the son of Sam, David Berkowitz. Kilala mo ba to? Si David Berkowitz?
I've heard of him. Hindi kayo magkakilala?
Hindi. Shit. So, ayun nga, meron nga siyang
Yes. I think
si Zodiac nga.
he's trying to build a fan base.
Oo. Kasi nga, ganito siya Meron siyang, ang tawag doon?
Yeah. Hunger for fame?
Na, kaya, siya yung nagbibigay ng name niya, siya yung nagbibigay ng may correspondence siya with the police.
Yes. Diyan mo nakikita
He wants to be known. Parang gano'n.
Yeah, yung level of staging niya. He doesn't only stage his crime scene, in-stage niya pati yung presentation niya, the way he introduced himself to the world, to the police, to the media. Na gusto niya may ganito siyang pangalan, ganito siyang ikikwento. Yung MO niya na he had to define everything to spell it out for the people kasi ayaw niya na iba yung pagkakilala nila sa kanya, yung ganun. I think. Wow.
Wow, nice. Meron tayong psychological with Dennis Rader. On 28th of April 1979, he breaks and enters into the home of his next victim. He sits and waits. And he waits, but the woman doesn't arrive. Raider leaves and later writes a letter for the intended victim to show how close they came. Years will pass before he kills again.
Shit.
Matanda naman tong target niya. Nandun lang siya sa cabinet, naghihintay the whole day. Kaya lang hindi umuwi yung lola. Parang pumunta siya sa isang anak niya, somebody na relative niya. Kaya hindi siya umuwi that
Fail.
day. So, hindi, andun lang siya, nasa cabinet lang siya.
Imagine may ikaw siya.
Nung nakahintay ka lang doon.
At what point ka magde-decide
Na,
"Uwi
wala
nga
na.
lang
Dadating pa ba yun? Anong oras na? Pero matagal to. Yun nga, very patient kasi siya. So, imagine, mga 10 hours or more. Ayun, gumawa nga siya ng letter na describing.
Disappointment niya. Sinlagay
parang,
niya doon. Ba't hindi ka umuwi?
Hindi ka umuwi. Inis ka naman I was ready. On the 27th of April 1985, Raider puts into action his most audacious plan yet. Hashtag. Which he calls Project Cookie. May mga ganun talaga. May matawag talaga.
So after Project Green is
Project Cookie.
Cookie.
The killing of a neighbor he actually knows to say hello to, someone that actually lives in his own habitat. He attacks at night and he breaks in. When his target returns, she brings back a male friend and he has to wait till the man leaves after midnight. So nagtatago na naman siya sa bahay. Kaya lang may friend. So hinintay muna niyang makauwi si friend bago siya umatake.
Anong ginawa nung friend?
That's for...
Hindi sinabi.
Hindi sinabi, pero your guess is as good as mine. He emerged from the shadows and strangles his 53-year-old neighbor, Maureen Hedge, in her home with pantyhose. The fact that she lives only a few doors from him thrills him. He takes her body to his church. Once there, he excites himself further by photographing her in sexually explicit poses. It takes him 5 hours to clean up. He dumps her body on a dirt road, hoping that a change in his MO will throw the police off his trail. So na iba. Kasi nga, hindi na sa bahay.
Yeah.
Dinump na niya. Baka kasi iba.
Alam mo, ang ganda niyang, yung article na binabasa mo. Very cinematic yung dating. He emerged from the shadows. Mga ganun.
So, sino ba to? Sa crimeandinvestigation.co.uk.
Kung mababasa lang yan ni BTK ngayon, he's
Tontuwa
gonna
siya.
love it.
Ganun. On 16th of September 1986, Raider dons his hit clothes. Oh, may hit Wait, ano yung hit clothes niya?
OOTD niya.
OOTD for the... He wears the uniform of a telephone repairman, carries a company manual, and fake identification, all of which helps persuade Vicky Virgili. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Virgili, 28, to let him in. So, kunyari siyang repairman. She's looking after her 2-year-old son, and when she's distracted, he pulls a pistol on her. She struggles and digs her nails into him. Digs? Parang on a different setting. Medyo to
Kinky sucks pa din.
She struggles and digs her nails into him. He ties her up with leather shoelaces. He uses one of her stockings to strangle her. Stockings. May stockings pa ba ngayon? Somewhere. Naalala ko yung nanay ko may stockings.
Sa, I think mga sales ladies sa depth store.
Pero pag mga corporate ka, hindi ka na nag-stockings. Hindi ka napapansin.
Baka sa guys.
Ano pala, no? May fantasies din pala. He rearranges her clothes and photographs her body. Excuse me. Having taken her life, he then takes her driving license but nothing else. It has been so long since he's killed, many assume the BTK killer may be dead or imprisoned. The unintended consequence is that her husband, Bill Wiggerly, not only loses his wife and mother of his children, but he becomes, and many for years, the chief suspect in her murder. Ito pala yun. Yung, siya yung naging suspect na ang lungkot.
Hindi yung kanina, yung mother of 3.
Ito pala siya. In 1991, Dolores D. Davis, 63, becomes Rader's last known victim. His entry method is almost reckless kasi he's been doing it for many years na hindi siya nahuhuli. Reckless na siya. His entry method is almost reckless. He waits till she's asleep and then he throws a concrete block through her window. Once in, he reverts to his old story of being a fugitive on the run. He handcuffs her and ties her with a pantyhose. He then pretends to be going through the motions, collecting food and car keys before turning to her. He slowly chokes her to death. It takes 2 to 3 minutes for her to die. This is the time for which he lives, the last moments of others before they die. So, ito na yung last killing niya, 1991. And naging dormant siya for a very long year.
Buhay na tayo nun.
Oo. Shit. So, the investigation went on for 30 years but the police never really came close to Dennis Rader. Kasi nga, super tagal na rin niyang hindi pumapatay. Kasi naging busy na siya sa family life niya, sa church niya.
Are you saying nandyan pa siya? He's still around?
Yep.
Kung buhay pa siya? Hindi siya nahuli?
Hindi siya nahuli. Never siyang nahuli. Consider the cold case na nga siya.
So, yung sinabi ko kanina na kung mababasa niya yun, may chance pala na mabasa talaga.
May chance na mabasa niya.
Dennis Rader, if you're listening right now.
Hi.
Hi.
So, this is your goal, di ba? Ang makilala. So, consider this cold case na yung BTK murders. Rader began a series of 11 communications to the local media that led directly to his arrest in 2005. So, noong March 2004, the Wichita Eagle received a letter from someone using the return address Bill Thomas Kilman. The author of the letter claimed that he had murdered Vicky Wiggerly in the September of 1986 and enclosed a photograph of the crime scene and a photograph of her driver's license, which had been stolen at the time of the crime. Kasi nga, merong isang letter, newspaper na nagsabing wala nang BTK murders kasi nga he's either dead or in prison. Saka, ang tingin ni Dennis Rader, parang no, hindi niyo ako nahuli, hindi ako namatay, I'm still here and you still haven't caught me. And hindi niya kayang tanggapin yung fact na yun yung iniisip niyo. No, I'm still here. Parang yun yung kaya bumalik siya, nagkaroon siya ng communications with the police and to prove na I'm the real deal. Andun yung mga driver's license ni Wiggerly. Vicky Wiggerly. DNA collected from Wiggerly's fingernails provided police with the previous unknown evidence. They then began DNA testing hundreds of men in an effort to find the serial killer. Altogether, over 1,300 DNA samples were taken and later destroyed by court order. In May 2004, television station Kaki in Wichita received a letter with chapter headings for the BTK story, Fake IDs and Word Puzzle. On June 9, 2004, a package was found taped in a stop sign at the corner of First and Kansas and Wichita. It had graphic descriptions of the Otero murders and sketch labeled, The Sexual Thrill is My Bill. Yun yung title. yung sketch niya, yun yung title. Also enclosed was a chapter list for a proposed book titled The BTK Story. Siya talaga yung nagbibigay ng mga titles. Which may make a story written in 1999 by Court TV crime writer David Lohr. In December 2004, Wichita police received another package from the BTK killer. This time, the package was found in Wichita's Murdoch Park. It had the driver's license of Nancy Fox, which was noted as stolen from the crime scene, as well as the doll that was symbolically bound at the hands and feet and had plastic bag tied over his head. So meron din siya ng manikang to illustrate his fantasies.
Di ba ginagamit ng mga artists yan?
Yung mga may laruan na ganun eh.
Tsaka ikaw, di ba yung mga toys mo, ina-arrange.
Tsaka merong laruan na specifically for that, pang illustrate. Kasi wala silang parang mannequin lang talaga sila. In January 2005, Raider attempted to leave a cereal box in the bed of a pickup truck at Home Depot in Wichita, but the box was discarded by the truck's owner. So meron siyang letter dapat for the police, kaya lang natapon. It was later retrieved from the trash after Raider asked what had become of its later message. Surveillance tape of the parking lot from that date revealed a distant figure driving a black Jeep Cherokee, leaving the box in the pickup. So, yeah, may clue na sila.
Yung
So, ito yung sasakyan ni Kuyang nag-iwan ng box. Which is, ito yung sasakyan ni BTK Killer. In February, more postcards were sent to Kaki, yung television station, and another cereal box left at a rural location was found to contain another bound doll. Apparently, meant to symbolize the murder of 11-year-old Josephine Otero. On his letter to police, Raider asked if his writings, if put on a floppy disk, could be traced or not. Tinanong niya yung mga police,
I remember this part, yes.
matatrace niyo ba ako sa floppy disk?
So nga, di ba? Sabi nila, nope.
The police answered this question in a newspaper ad posted in Wichita Eagle saying it would be safe to use the disk. Pero coded siya eh. Yeah. Hindi siya directly sinabing BTK Killer, mga ganun. May code.
So,
It's okay. Parang ganun.
the cops are telling him na if you want to communicate with us, yes, it's safe for you to use a floppy disk kasi hindi ka namin
3.15. mga ganun. Hindi ka namin matatrace.
Trace, yeah. So, they're luring him na, yes, gamitin mo.
On February 16, 2005, Raiders sent a purple 1.44 megabyte. Wow!
May color?
1.44 purple. Megabyte, may tatak, Memorex. Floppy disk to Fox TV affiliate KSAS TV in Wichita. Also enclosed were a letter, a gold-colored necklace, and a large medallion, and a photocopy of the cover of the 1989 novel about a serial killer, Rules of Prey. Police found metadata embedded in a deleted Microsoft Word document that was a note to Raider still stored on a floppy disk. Wala naman talagang nawawala sa mga storage data. Di ba pag na-delete mo, pwede mo pang ma-retrieve.
Still there.
Yeah, it's never gone. So yung mga pictures niyo dyan.
Sabi
mga
nila,
videos.
effectively delete. Replace the file with the same file name.
Talaga?
I-overwrite niya yun with the new contents
pwede.
ng file.
So in a way, medyo mas mahirap din.
I think.
So sige, good. Thank you sa tip ha. So yun, gawin natin. The metadata contains the word Christ Lutheran Church. So this is the church, Lutheran.
Okay.
And the document was marked as last modified by...
Gusto ko yung hinold back mo yung information ng church niya kasi doon pala siya mahuhuli. Love it.
An internet search determined that a Dennis Rader was president of a church council. From the Home Depot incident, the police also knew that BTK owned a black Jeep Cherokee. So napag-combine na nila yung mga clues nila. Meron siyang black Jeep Cherokee and Dennis Rader na president ng Christ Lutheran Church.
At may MS Office siya.
Tsaka oldies to. Kasi hindi siya sa floppy disk. When tsaka na 2004, 2005, floppy disk. Or yun ba yung time ng floppy disk? Or yung mas maliit na?
Yung disket? Baka disket.
Pero yung sa kanya floppy. So yung gano'n, yung malaki.
Kasi 1.4 MB ang capacity nun eh.
Yung floppy.
I think.
Tapos mas malaki, mga 3 MB na yata yung ano eh.
Ito mga 3 MB.
3 MB na yung disket.
Mm.
When oldies disket. When investigators drove by Rader's house, they noticed a black Jeep Cherokee parked outside. So the police had a strong circumstantial evidence against Rader, but they needed more direct evidence to detain him. They obtained a warrant to test the DNA of a pap smear Rader's daughter had taken at the Kansas State University Medical Clinic when she was a student there.
So, yung anak niya nagpa-pap smear. Yun yung ginamit na DNA.
The DNA of the pap smear was processed by the Kansas Bureau of Investigations at their lab in Topeka and demonstrated a familial match the sample taken from Wiggerly's fingernails. This indicated that the killer was closely related to Rader's daughter and was the evidence that police needed to make an arrest. Rader was arrested while driving near his home in Park City shortly after noon on February 25, 2005. An officer asked, "Mr. Rader, do you know why you're going down? Do you know why you're going downtown?"
Mm.
Rader replied, "Oh, I have suspicions why." Pabebe, nakakainis.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
suspicions why. Wichita Police, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, and ATF agents searched Rader's home and vehicles, seizing evidence including computer equipment, a pair of black pantyhose retrieved from a shed, and a cylindrical container. The church he attended, his office, his office at City Hall, and the main branch of the Park City Library were also searched. At the press conference the next morning, Wichita Police Chief Norman Williams announced the bottom line, BTK is arrested.
Oh.
So meron pa dito na yung wife niya kasi. Di ba nga nagsusulat ng letters tong si BTK? Marami siyang mga misspellings. Like yung scream, spelling niya ng screams. Di ba mahilig siya magsulat ng letters? Yung scream niya, SCREEM. Mga ganun. Tapos, sinabi nung asawa niya, you spell like BTK.
So siya pala yun.
Parang, pero dinedma lang ng asawa niya yun. Saka hindi, napansin niya rin yung, ang tawag doon, the mother load. Siyempre, nasa kwarto niya.
Yung box.
Yung box.
Containing yung...
Kung binuksan niya yun, makikita niya yung lahat ng driver's license, ng
Yeah.
evidences, pero hindi niya ginawa. Tapos, asan na ba siya ngayon? February 28, 2005, Raider was charged with 10 counts of murder. Mapapanood niyo sa YouTube yung ano niya.
Interview?
No, yung trial, yung confession niya. Kasi nga, binabasa every count. Tapos kung anong nangyari.
I guess, feel niya yun.
Gustong-gusto niya yung moment. This is the moment.
Everything I worked for.
On March 1, Rader's bail was set to $10 million and the public defender was appointed to represent him. I want to know the sentence. Rader's behalf, as Raider did not speak at his arraignment. At Rader's August 18 sentencing, victims' families made statements, after which Raider apologized in a rambling 30-minute monologue that the prosecutor likened to an Academy Awards acceptance speech.
Hulaan ko. Medyo wala na yung parang artistic na description. So, are we back to Wikipedia?
Yeah. His statements has been described as an example of an often observed phenomenon among psychopaths. Their inability to understand the emotional content of language. Was sentenced to 10 consecutive life sentences with a minimum of 175 years. Kansas had no death penalty at the time of the murders. Kaya hindi siya na-sentence sa death penalty. Kasi nga nung time na ginawa niya yung murders. On August 19, he was moved to El Dorado Correctional Facility. Ayun.
Nag-decide ka na tapos ka na?
Oo, nag-decide na akong tapusin na. Oo, Decades Without Being Caught. Ito kasi yung maganda no?
Yung?
Kasi, ayun. Dala lang. Hay, nako.
Well.
So that's Dennis Rader. One of his concerns in his future jail accommodation. Am I going to be in a special section of the jail? Or am I going to be thrown in with a bunch of loonies?
Pag tinanong siya, guess where? Sabi niya, I have a suspicion.
I have suspicions where...
I can see...
That's Dennis Rader for you.
Yeah, I can see bakit mo siya napili. There's a certain,
theatrics si Koya.
Theatrics. For me, the creepiest part is how he would communicate pa sa mga police. It's not enough that he commits the murders. He describes them and tells the police na yung mga ginawa niya. I think that's that's one part na well, actually sa lahat ng mga serial killers na nakikipag-communicate sa police sa family, I really find them creepy. There's a certain distinction sa kanila that sets them apart sa ibang mga serial killers na they just do it and get away with it and they're done. Para may follow-up ka pa na ganun, you're really seeking something out. And in his case, yung gusto niya kasing maging famous.
Famous. He
Pa-famous
wants the fame.
kasi siya. Pa-viral eh.
Dapat naghintay siya ng kaya lang. Kasi ngayon, mas madali nang pumamos. Gawa ka lang ng video.
Tingin ko pala, alam mo yung mga napili niyang professions niya. Una yung yun sa security.
Yung taga-install ng security system.
Tapos yung parang city order something, yung sa animals and traffic. He wants to be an insider sa law. I think. Parang
para easy access ba?
Oh yeah. And parang he's trying to play the long con kasi na parang hanap yung mga pulis sa kanya. Parang he's there in plain sight
parang
this whole time.
This is a game for him in a way.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, catch me if you can. Ganun.
I think he's actively trying to make a movie about him. May movies ba tungkol sa kanya?
Well, merong mga lang siya. Kunyari sa Mindhunter, meron siyang, although hindi siya mentioned as BTK killer.
Dennis Rader.
ADT killer siya doon. Pero siya yung reference.
What if ginawan siya ng movie pero comedy na?
Oo, parang, shit, hindi ito yung ina-aspire ko. So, meron din siyang novel si Stephen King, A Good Marriage.
Oh.
So, based on BTK killer then Red Dragon. The novelist Thomas Harris has said that the character of Francis Dollarhide from his 1981 novel Red Dragon is partially based on the then unidentified BTK killer. Meron ding made for TV na movie na The Hunt for the BTK Killer noong 2005. Meron din, sa Netflix, yung Mindhunter. Although ADT, serviceman yung tawag sa kanya.
Yeah, he did it for the fame. So,
yeah, so I guess, this is it. Ito yung goal mo. So, ito, kilala ka na.
Congrats.
This is what you've always wanted.
Wow. Ang ganda. I loved it. As always, ang galing ng sources mo, yung research mo.
Well researched. Wow. Thank you sa crime and investigation.co.uk.
Taking it a step further from Wikipedia.
Yes.
Dapat pala iwasan natin yung mga serial killers na nag-strangle, no?
Bakit?
Nabubulol ka sa strangle.
Strangle. Shit. Nagpapasa na lang. Or let's take it slowly lang daw pag magbabasa.
Okay.
Kasi 1 hour na tayo, shit.
Right. So,
we would like to take this time to thank.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Diba? Marami tayong ita-thank you. Salamat sa mga nakikinig. Thank you very much. Kasi,
oh, actually,
you took the time.
At sobrang overwhelmingly positive ang
Thank you.
response. Wow.
Wow!
Well,
mga friends kasi.
Pinarinig ko lang din sa friends na hindi naman magsasabi ng masama. So that's how you get an overwhelmingly positive response. But yes, we would like to give a shout out to a few friends.
Yep.
Ikaw muna?
Let's go ahead. Meron ka na ba?
Sir Mots.
Ay, thank you. Si Alfredo.
Yes. Si Claudio Poy.
Thank you.
Si Neil, my oldest friends sa blog.
Thank you.
Blogosphere.
Thank you.
Emphasis
Thank you, Neil.
on oldest. My office mate, Emmy. Ingat ka sa bus. Baka lumagpas ka.
Natutulog ba?
Yes. And a few more people na saka ko na i-greet kasi di pa nila naririnig.
Ay, yung din, yung mga nag-follow sa Twitter. Si Sir Mott, si Ali Put 19. Yeah. Si Adelbird, si Jomark Avalon, yung office mate Jomark. Watermelon Kin.
Yes.
Watermelon Girl Kin. Siyempre si Jay Colista, that kid from SD, yung kanina. Mr.
Hey.
Rod Teodoro. Hi. Thank you din sa mga nag-share. Kasi di ba nag-share tayo sa Facebook?
Oh, yes.
Thank you kay kay Justin Zaldivar, kay Kuya RJ Villar. Kasi shinare nila yung mga photos.
Sir RJ. And speaking of Facebook, I'm gonna say hi na rin sa Podcast PH. That's the group I joined. Lots of podcasters and podcast listeners there. Hi, guys.
This is an awesome community. Ayan, sa office mates ko rin na nakikinig habang walang ginagawa sa trabaho. Nandiyan yung season, kay Kat, Mami Kat. Yan, thank you. Kasi nakikinig kayo sa dito pag wala kayong magawa.
And hi kay BTK.
BTK, yeah. If you're listening, hi. Hello, this is for you.
Right, okay.
Ayun. So, that's BTK.
Congrats.
For next,
Bye.
Grabe. Kasi 1 hour na. Medyo nagpa-panic na.
We would like to invite you to like our Facebook page or Instagram or
Twitter. It's Scriptsilog all over. Everywhere.
Subscribe kayo sa Spotify and sa iTunes.
Rate us 5 stars.
Apple Podcast.
Wow.
Yes, please. And we hope you enjoy our content so far. We really like recording them. Hindi ko in-expect na mag-enjoy ako sa pag-record.
Oo. So, parang, kailan ba tayo mag-next?
Thank you to our friends who support us and to the people who we don't know pero
nakikinig. Yeah. Pakilala kayo. Yes. Kasi meron tayong mga listeners all over the world. Wow! Meron tayo sa makikita lang namin yung location but not who you are. Siyempre, private.
You can see your IP addresses.
Wow, shit. Creepy. Follow nyo rin kami sa personal pages.
Yeah.
Gideon Wobby in Twitter and Instagram.
At The Glenn Tot in all the platforms.
Yep. Pati pala Facebook.
That's it.
Yeah, so thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Love ya. Bye.
And mercy and compassion.
Scriptsilog.